Quickly, we're going to look at our quadrilateral family tree. It'll help you understand when shapes can be classified as more than one type of shape. So we know that a quadrilateral just means that they have four sides and they equal 360 degrees when you add them all together. So off over here, we have a parallelogram. All parallelograms will be quadrilaterals no matter what because they have four sides. So when we're talking about parallelograms, we're talking about shapes that have opposite sides parallel and congruent. From the parallelogram, we have over here a rectangle which has four sides that total to 360 degrees. The opposite sides of a rectangle are parallel and congruent, but the only thing you really need to be considered a rectangle, the most important thing, is that you have four right angles. And then off to the side over here, we have our rhombus. So a rhombus is a four-sided figure, so it's a quadrilateral. It has opposite sides that are parallel and congruent, so it's also a parallelogram. But the only thing you really have to have in order to be a rhombus is all congruent sides. And then last but not least, down here on this side of the family tree that they all tie together with is the square. A square has four sides that have angles that total to 100 or 360 degrees. Squares have opposite sides that are parallel and congruent, so it's a parallelogram as well. Squares have four right angles. Squares have all congruent sides, but in order to be a square, you have to have both all congruent sides and angles. So yes, the square is considered a rhombus and a square is considered a rectangle, but it's not the other way around because we have some rectangles that are not going to have all congruent sides, or we may have some rhombuses that are not going to have, well, ever all congruent angles. But the other way around, a square will always be a rectangle, a square will always be a rhombus. And then over here on this side of the family tree by their lonesome, we have the trapezoids. And the only thing that you need to be a trapezoid is to have four sides that have angles that total to 360, and then the very important thing is that you and your trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. They don't even have to be congruent, they just have to be parallel, and it doesn't have to be all of them, it just has to be one set. So that's why trapezoids don't fall underneath this side of our family tree. They're in their own lonely family tree over here.